Boys, throwing you up an omelette, sir. Shirts, 6 pairs of drawers.
How do I look?
You look an idiot. 2 pairs of light trousers, the thin waistcoat.
I think I look quite a ladies' man.
Did you clean his climbing boots like I told you, boy?
I've got a girl now, Mr. Haskell.
Boots.
She's willing.
Shower-proof overcoat. Alpaca jacket. Butterfly net. Prayer book. Guidebook.
Didn't have to ask for a kiss.
Damn. His bloody guidebook. Go collect it from Mr. Syme.
Kissing's all right, isn't it?
Now, pocket compass. So as he can find his way home again.
Come on, let me in, you silly dog! Come on, you've got nothing to hide. Hold him.
What it is to be young.
Are you absolutely certain, President, you will not require my presence here during the vacation?
A vacation is for holidays.
Holidays anathema to me, as you know. I shall be taking plenty of work with me.
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, remember that.
Observe the past and future of the college, Anderson. Ashby goes away every year, and every year it's exactly the same. Dreadful wringing of hands and paroxysms of guilt.
Imagine what it must be like. Living with the fear that you might return from foreign parts and find that a new soup tureen has been purchased without a full meeting of the college council.
I was told to come for the guidebook of the Alps for Mr. Ashby.
Oh, yes. I've marked out some interesting routes for him. Hold it carefully.
A few precipices, the odd chasm. With your advice, he'll be likely to come back alive.
He'll not only come back alive, he'll also come back a world authority on alpine exploration.
Good, my lord. You have begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those duties back as our right fit. Obey.
As Vice President of the college, I'm fully aware of my responsibilities. Should your health, God forbid that it should, but you do understand.
Ashby! Ashby!
President?
I found my Cordelia.
Have you found your King Lear?
Not yet. 1 or 2 prospects. Might have to play the part myself. You want a Lear? Then you should search among that sort of men, well steeped in ambition, betrayal, and greed. The head of an Oxford college. I'm your Lear.
There's a fellow in Trinity who's been allowed to marry and remain in college.
Sign of the times.
You're not proposing to bring some elderly widow out of the cupboard, are you, Rose?
You're fully aware of my views on the subject.
Firmly based in ancient Greece.
Not a bad example to follow.
Well, farewell, gentlemen. I wish I had the time, Ashby. I should gladly volunteer to help you carry your bags.
Well, in my experience, there's rarely a shortage of people to carry one's bags.
This is rural Switzerland, not Paris. You'll be pestered by mountain guides every foot of the way. But do take care. Most of them couldn't lead you across their living rooms.
Well, there are incompetents in all walks of life, Mr. Syme. I'm sure I can recognize them by now. Vacancy on the library committee. I'd suggest Mr. Cornish.
Oh, very good.
Oh, and do examine the bed sheets carefully, especially in mountain guest houses.
You have my address. I shall be 4.5 days traveling. I rely on you, Pollitt. Look after the college.
The largest of the three summits is the Feinster Elbhorn, 14,032 feet above sea level. The area is a well-known haunt of the chamois, a shy retiring antelope that shelters amongst the rocks during the heat of the day. On a fine day, the Matterhorn may be glimpsed between the twin peaks of the Weisshorn and Monte Rosa.
Extraordinary.
Yes. Oh, what a pity we didn't bring our watercolors.
Only with thy powerful hand. Feed me till I want no more.
Well, the wife shouts at the husband shouts at the boy, and the boy looks down at his shoes all the time.
Shh. They might hear you.
And the wife has a fainting spell every evening.
You want the cushions and then the... No. Nine. These are the cushions and then the bag. Come along, Miss Eleanor. So I've come to rescue you from the mob.
I like the mob, Dr. Weeks.
Yes, I've just been making sure our guides don't forget anything. We must have plenty of drinking water. We don't want to risk sunstroke, do we?
He really left these two behind. There'll be nowhere to sit down up there. My dear girl, you're surely not going to climb in those boots, are you? You'll have the most dreadful blisters by this evening. Stout boots.
Come along, John. All hands to the pump.
I wonder what else he's forgotten. Have you checked cushions?
Yes, the pictures are in there.
Sunshade?
It's all there.
Picnic hamper?
Yes,
have you
it's
the
all
picnic hamper?
Yes, yes, you have. You have.
What else have we here?
Got it.
Do you always carry this jar with you?
Well, yes. I want to be an entomologist. Well, my father has other ideas.
Your father seems fond of giving advice. I suppose most doctors are. There's one.
Oh, that's just a hoverfly. They're everywhere.
Oh.
What your poor daughter must make of all this, I can't imagine. Such a delicate, pretty girl. Your only daughter, is she?
Extraordinary, is it not, that people come here for their health, and yet many of the locals seem to be riddled with disease. I've never seen so many cases of cretinism and goiter. Terribly unsightly. Bilberries can give relief, they say. I'm a great believer in bilberries. Many bilberries in your part of the world?
Philadelphia. Not Bilberry country.
Not her daughter.
Disturb you, sir?
No, no, no. I was merely enjoying the view and the silence.
It's all right for you. You're not carrying anything. Oh, good morning, sir.
Oh, this is quite beautiful. Oh, good morning.
This would have been a rest.
Good morning.
Merciful relief from travelling. Why ever do people come here?
It is the prettiest part of the Alps, my dear.
If I were a goat or an eagle, perhaps. We're going back. Weeks. Talk to the guide.
I've lost my aphid.
Ah! Good morning.
Good morning. Passing through.
Yes, yes. We're hoping to make the Altdorf Ridge. Ha! My name is Weeks. Dr. Weeks.
How do you do?
This is my son, John. This is Miss Hartley. And, Miss Hartley's, Miss Eleanor Hartley.
My name is Ashby of Oxford University.
Indeed. There is a coincidence. My practice is in Oxford.
Weeks. I've persuaded him to take us back.
Already?
Now.
Jetzt? Die Dame hat mich gefragt, ich kann nicht Nein sagen. They pay me.
Yes, yes, yes.
But we've hardly begun.
My wife's heart is not too strong, you understand.
It's an easy matter to return. There's a path all the way.
My dear?
It was the arrangement, Weeks, door to door. It is his duty to take us back.
Yes, yes, of course, my dear.
Can't we go on?
Well, not if the guide is going back.
Victor, my eyes.
Oh, good heavens, I'll be your guide and won't charge you a penny for it.
John! John! Your mother needs your help. Come along. Quickly.
Let's get home as fast as we can. That's all I ask.
Oh, my dear.
Help me up. Help me up. All right, carry on. Get on with it.
Those guides are such a disgrace. They prey on people who know nothing and show them nothing.
You seem very familiar with the route.
It's a simple matter of preparation. No great secret, provided you've done your homework. Now it's down to the right.
Will that take us back?
Yes, but by a different route. We should have a splendid view of the Steinhaus Valley, one of the finest in God's creation. I mean, look at that. Who could doubt the presence of a divine hand in all of this?
Now, that's the Brighthorn. It should be, but that's over there.
Oh, dear. We're lost! We're lost!
I don't think I don't think you should be shouting like that. The human voice has been known to cause landslides. Now, if you wouldn't mind holding on to this compass, and keep the needle pointing west.
Still going west.
Yes, the village lies directly below us. There should be a perfectly serviceable path.
Do be careful, Mr. Ashby.
Don't worry, I'm quite safe. The only danger lies in haste.
Mr. Ashby, we found the path.
Mr. Ashby? Mr. Ashby!
Come and see Herrlein.
Does that mean come in?
Yes, of course. Miss Eleanor.
I'm afraid I'm being disobedient.
Oh?
Well, my aunt didn't think you would want visitors, but I felt the accident was all my fault. If I hadn't wanted to go on, then you wouldn't have fallen. So I came to say I'm sorry.
Oh, I see you've brought my compass. I was looking for that.
Yes, it's very handsome. Was it a gift?
Yes, from some students, I think.
Oh, I've brought something else. A present. It's a guide to the surrounding area. I thought you might find it useful. It has clear maps of all the mountain paths. Of course, you already have a guidebook.
Oh, no, this one was lent to me by a friend. So far, it's proved woefully inadequate, so thank you. Thank you.
Dr. Weeks, have you seen Eleanor?
We can't wait any longer, I'm afraid, Miss Hartley.
You must go and see Mr. Ashby again.
Oh, his leg will heal on its own.
Oh, not about his leg, about John.
John's leg?
His admission to the university. It's an opportunity not to be missed.
Hey, pass es auf. Komm schon. Komm. Hey. Mr. Ashby! I've come to rescue you!
I'm perfectly all right, thank you.
Disaster. It's so hard to make the guide understand. No one understands. Why bother to come here?
Do you always travel alone?
Whenever possible.
You don't have a family?
I have a father, that's all.
You're not married.
No, I'm not married. I'm not allowed a wife.
Not allowed?
The rules of the college. None of us who are fellows, none of us who teach at the university is allowed a wife.
Why not?
Well, because we have the college to look after. There's no time to pat children on the head. Besides, I think families are a mixed blessing, don't you?
I only have Aunt Caroline.
No brothers or sisters?
No?
So your aunt has devoted her life to looking after you?
My aunt is always very busy, Mr. Ashby. She is occupied with many deserving causes. She's a trustee for the Asylum of Deaf and Dumb, the Daughters of Charity Homes for Foundlings, and she is a member of the Society for the Employment and Instruction of the Poor. I'm only one of her causes, Mr. Ashby.
Oh, there she is.
Goodbye.
Don't let Napoleon march you too far.
That's strictly against orders, Mr. Ashby.
I'm under no one's orders, Dr. Weeks.
Oh, Mr. Ashby. Oh, dear, it's the doctor again.
Probably to send me straight to bed.
No, I'm afraid it's me he's after. Would you mind?
No, not at all.
Miss Hartley, may I have the honor?
Mr. Ashby's just asked me to dance.
Are you fit enough?
Yes.
Here's another one. Helen. Why are men like telescopes?
I've no idea.
Because women draw them out, look through them, and shut them up.
Oh. Indeed. Well, I must be going.
Oh, do stay a moment longer.
All right. I shall finish my wine.
Mr. Ashby. You didn't dance with me.
Well, I shouldn't have danced with anybody. I shall regret it in the morning. This is all a new world for me. I expect you're always at dances at home.
No, I'm alone most of the time.
You should have had brothers and sisters, Anne.
I did have brothers and sisters. I was born in Ireland, you see. At the worst of times, I was the lucky one. I survived. They put me on a boat to America. I was 5. Miss Hartley saved me. Look at the lights out there. It's like a fairy tale. I feel almost out of time here, as if the mountains were shutting off the rest of the world. I shall put this moment away in my memory, keep it brilliant and clear. And what shall you take back with you, Mr. Ashby?
Ah, Mr. Ashby, can I talk to you about John?
Eleanor, do you know why Mr. Ashby's left so suddenly?
What? Mr. Ashby has gone?
Tell me, what did you say to him last night?
I said nothing.
Eleanor, I'm not a fool. He would not leave without a word unless he had good reason. Tell me the truth.
Mr. Ashby and I parted the best of friends.
Are you sure you do not confuse friendship with familiarity?
What do you mean?
That joke you told is not suited to mixed company.
Why ever not?
Why do you constantly resist my best endeavors on your behalf?
Because I have a mind of my own.
But you lack sensitivity to the feelings of others.
Why do you always blame me? Are you never at fault?
Another lovely day.
Yes, we have been most fortunate.
Sad about our Mr. Ashby.
What?
Returned to Oxford this morning. Urgent college business. I was the one who brought the telegram. Still, he's promised to see the boy.
Interview in 3 weeks.
We ask thee this day, O Lord, in thy infinite wisdom, to grant to our dear President the joys of a speedy recovery or the mercies of a swift deliverance from his suffering. We pray that thou, who hast granted him a long and happy life, will intercede most mercifully for him at this time. Amen.
Amen.
And now, hymn number 196.
I should have been summoned earlier.
You wouldn't hear of it. He won't leave the doctors. Insists it's only a chill. Admirable, of course.
A day earlier might have made all the difference.
What a fuss.
So, how was Switzerland, Ashby? You fell, I believe.
Yes, that's nothing serious. The wretched guide left us to our own devices.
I fail to see the attraction of such a steep country.
Pollitt and I spent a delightful weekend in the Fens with a party of young men from Corpus. Splendid swimming. Much horseplay.
Ashby, you stayed the course longer than I expected. In Switzerland. All that time. Whatever did you find to do?
I went to Switzerland. I came back. Switzerland is over, Butler. It's over. Now, if you don't mind, I have some work to do.
They say the brain is affected by high altitude. Lack of oxygen in the blood supply.
Haskell!
I rather think he has more in his mind than mountains at the moment. The presidency.
Oh, what happens when the old man drops?
There will have to be an election, I presume.
Well, hardly necessary, I would think. Elections are cumbersome, expensive affairs. To be avoided if at all possible.
But provided for in the statutes.
But what's the point?
The point is, there are some of us who have in mind an alternative candidate. One who would present different views, propose new ideas, let fresh air into the college.
Who on earth would challenge Ashby?
Mein Himmel, du, darein ich schwebe, mein guter Geist, mein besseres
An avalanche of applause, envious looks from besotted undergraduates, and a modest bow from the accompanist.
Talking of modesty, what are these rumors I hear of your proposed exaltation?
Anderson has plans for me.
And will you fall in with them?
How do the godly readers of Genesis justify the recent geological discoveries? They would have us believe that there had been no gradual modification of the surface of the earth, no slow development of the organic forms, but that when one catastrophic act of creation took place, the world presented instantly the structured appearance of a planet on which life had long existed. It is no easy task to change or even to re-examine sincerely held beliefs. And yet, we shall achieve nothing if we cannot adapt as the species to new ideas.
Oh, Nuncle! Caught holy water in a dry house is better than this rain water out of door. Good, Nuncle.
Mr. Millard, do you think at this moment you might, caper a little?
Caper?
Yes, caper. Invent something fanciful. Throw your arms in the air. Skip. Well, you are a fool.
Oh, Nuncle! Caught holy water in a dry house.
Intrigues, a dalliance. Surely I'm allowed a dalliance. Please take it seriously. Seriously, you're suggesting that nothing short of total abstinence will secure me the presidency. That intellectual energy, freshness of approach, and impeccable liberal attitudes all count for nothing.
Syme, remember, you will be up against a man with no known moral blemish.
Heraclitus recognizes the inalienable and indivisible powers of the deity, which nevertheless offers to mankind a human choice.
Ah, a human choice. Is that all?
Well, so the the apparent contradiction between the indivisible power and a degree of choice is...
Yes, yes, I'm aware of the contradiction, but could you elaborate on the nature of the choice?
Oh, yes, sir, the, well, it is free will, in that it allows some degree of latitude, but...
Exactly, free will, but of a paternalistic nature.
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Correct. But not in the essay.
Sorry, sir. It's just I have been, rather distracted recently. I was rather hoping for your advice, actually, sir. And I can do the work. I want to do the work, but I'm afraid I've been rather foolish.
If you want my support, Syme, those are the terms.
Oh. I promise I shall abstain and look without desire on any female until I have become president of this college.
It might help if you confine yourself less to extracurricular activities and more to the lecture rooms. You're a persuasive speaker when you make the effort. People do listen to you.
What?
We belong to the same choir, you see. This time we're doing the songs of Schumann. I know she knows, because I find her eyes catch mine. She's married. She's twice my age at least, but I adore her.
Yes.
The door, sir?
Oh, yes. Come in.
Sorry to bother you with a trifle, sir, but two ladies entered the college without my authority, asking for you and claiming to be acquaintances of yours, which I regarded as highly unlikely. They tried to insist on seeing you, but I made it clear to them the college is closed to unaccompanied visitors and asked them to withdraw to the lodge.
Yes, indeed, Hapgood, those are the rules.
It happens every now and then, sir. I'll deal with them. This way, ladies.
Hapgood.
Oh, you do remember us?
Of course. I'll deal with this, Hapgood. Miss Eleanor. Miss Hartley.
We were on our way home via Liverpool, but Eleanor was adamant a visit be made to Oxford on the way.
You were the one who said my education wouldn't be complete without it.
Were we awfully remiss in coming here? I pleaded we were Americans, but that seemed to make matters worse.
No. I am told that there were ladies on college premises in the middle of the morning.
Yes, they were guests of mine, President. Well, acquaintances, no more than that. We met in Switzerland, a mutual interest in climbing. They were passing through Oxford and came to pay their regards.
How old's the girl?
I've absolutely no idea.
She's a pretty thing.
The rules of the college are very clear on this matter. I don't need to tell you that, Ashby.
Of course, they're only here briefly and will not be setting foot in college. One would hardly expect those on a tour of Europe to give up the chance to encounter a university of world renown. The elder of the two ladies is a most cultivated woman. She's the daughter of Cuthbert Hartley.
Who?
Author of Hartley's commentaries on Greek philosophy. Mr. Weeks, you have prepared a passage, I believe, from the Historia Ecclesiastica.
Yes, Mr. Ashby.
Proceed.
Suscipitera, tuo corporus de corpori suntum. Redi.
Redere.
Redere. Quod valias vivicanti Deum.
Dio.
Dio. Spiritus astra petit, litae nil jura nocibunt qui vitas.
Viti. Genitive singular.
Qui viti. Alterius mors magis ipsa via est.
Mr. Weeks, the college of which you wish to be a part is a place of learning, a place of scholarship, a place of intellectual endeavor. I think you will find yourself better suited to less arduous surroundings.
So kind of you, Mr. Ashby.
No, I have plenty of time. Well, I have an hour. Well, almost an hour. Sadly, the holidays are over.
They will be for us very soon.
Now, this is something of a curiosity. Now, there's a place different period represents.
Well, Miss Eleanor.
Dr. Weeks!
How long have you been here? Is Miss Hartley with you? I shall organize a tour for you.
Oh, we're already organized.
Dr. Weeks,
Miss Hartley,
what a surprise.
I see you've chosen your regular guide.
I think Mr. Ashby's still suffering from the shock of seeing us here at all.
He's not the only one to be in a state of shock.
Has your wife been unwell again?
No. My wife is well. My son has suffered a considerable blow.
Yes, well, good day, Dr. Weeks, if you'll excuse us. We have much to see.
Ladies.
I like the Greek gods. They have human appetites and weaknesses.
Of course, the female form, you'll notice, was rarely portrayed without drapery before the Hellenistic period, at which time the Greek civilization declined.
What sounds, Mr. Ashby?
On a recent tour of Italy, I was shown a paving stone reputedly stained with the blood of some long-dead martyr. On tasting it, gentlemen, I found it was the urine of a species of Chiroptera. Mere bat's piss, gentlemen. Bat's piss. Cadman, pass me the jar and the embalming fluid. You may not have a brain, but at least you will learn how to pickle one.
They tell me Dr. Butler's anatomy classes are becoming very popular.
The poor girl was lost.
And who was in charge of her?
Good night, Mr. Pollitt.
Good night, Paget.
By what earthly rule is one prevented from showing friends around Oxford?
Friends now, eh?
What else should one call them?
2 unmarried women, Ashby. Don't you forget that.
One of whom is little more than a girl, and the other who is the daughter of one of the more distinguished figures in American scholarship.
Yes, Hartley's commentaries. Remind me to see if I can find a copy in the library.
So, you leave tonight?
6 o'clock, I believe. The train seems to stop everywhere.
Well, why put yourself to all that discomfort? Stay in Oxford. Travel in the morning.
No. I fear we've already overstayed our welcome. But I am sad not to have seen more of your college.
Yes. I do have a suggestion. It may not meet with your approval, but if you're at all interested.
Oh, Nuncle, caught holy water in a dry house is better than this rainwater out of door. Good Nuncle, in, ask thy daughter's blessing. Here's a night pities neither wise men nor fools. Rumble thy belly full, spit, fire, spout, rain, no rain, wind, thunder, fire, and I daughter. I tax you
Isn't
not,
that
you
bad?
elements, with unkindness. I never
Think our John could have been a part of it.
Oh, 'tis foul! He that has a house to put head in has a good headpiece. The codpiece that shall house.
Before the head has any,
Before the head has any,
the head and he shall lose.
the head and he shall louse. So beggars marry many. The man that
that will house.
The head and so thousand beggars marry many. The man shall house what his heart could make. Child of the poor, cry woe, and turn his sleep to wake. The man makes his Joe.
I believe we haven't yet been formally introduced.
Well, this is my colleague, Mr. Syme, Miss Caroline Hartley from Philadelphia.
No relation to Cuthbert Hartley, by any chance? Author of Hartley's Commentaries on Greek Philosophy.
He was my father.
Ashby, and Hamley.
Oh, yes. Friends and company.
Disastrous. Disastrous.
Was the thought of King Lear too dark and doom-laden for your young companion?
Oh, yes. Eleanor decided to rest. She was rather tired after all the sightseeing.
Yes, Oxford can be very grueling. But should you decide to come and visit again, do let me know. I have a small cottage by the river, away from everything. I'm always looking for someone to make use of it.
Ellie? My dear, do you know the time?
I'm not going.
Have you rested?
Yes, thank you.
Then you must finish dressing. We're to be collected.
I'm not going.
Well, whatever is the matter?
I don't feel comfortable here. Life is suddenly so complicated. First we are to leave, then we are to stay. Have we to go home or haven't we to go home?
Now, don't let us argue. Mr. Ashby's taken considerable trouble for us.
For you.
What?
It's clear that you enjoy the same things. He talks to you, but rarely to me.
Eleanor, that's nonsense. We do everything together.
He has no choice. Besides, I'm tired of museums and fine historic architecture and...
Eleanor, are you aware of how lucky you are?
Why must you always refer to my good fortune? How lucky you are, Eleanor, to have gone to the best school in New England. How lucky you are to live in a well-appointed house. How lucky you are to travel to Europe. How lucky you are to be alive at all.
Eleanor, how can you say such things?
I know it's all true, but
I have only your best interests at heart. And I'm sure Mr. Ashby would agree.
don't try and tell me what Mr. Ashby does or does not think about me.
Oxford can be very grueling. I do understand.
I feel that you have done so much for us, Mr. Ashby. You've been so attentive.
I've enjoyed it.
Indeed, Eleanor was just saying tonight
What was she saying? Do tell me.
that you have been almost too attentive.
Too attentive.
Too attentive. Too attentive to me, I mean, rather than to her. She's a strange girl. The Eleanor I know is very different from the one you've met, Mr. Ashby. I tell you this in absolute confidence, of course. Well, some months ago, she left me.
She left you?
She had tried to leave for New York on some fruitless search of what she imagines to be her past. It was both dangerous and foolish.
You must have been dreadfully upset.
This is why we've come to Europe. But there are so many new impressions here that one must have some experience of life to extract the most from them. Which, of course, is what dear Eleanor lacks.
Miss Eleanor. My name is Cable. Mr. Ashby is my tutor.
Oh.
What on earth are you doing here?
Well, I might ask the same of you, Mr. Cable.
You know, you really shouldn't be here all by yourself.
Oh, why not?
Hey, you, sir, stop!
Quick, run! They'll take you for a tart. You'll get locked up.
What are you doing?
Eleanor, just run. Keep going.
I remember arriving at the orphanage. My heart was pounding with excitement. I thought so long and hard about adopting a child. And then when I saw Eleanor looking so frail and eager, my heart went out to her. I was moved by her courage. You can't imagine how frightened she was when she first came to me. She was always putting me to the test. I sensed her asking, am I still wanted?
I've learnt so much this evening.
What could I possibly teach you?
How shall I put it? Our conversation has made me aware of lives beyond the confines of the college.
You Englishmen make things so difficult for yourselves. You seem to avoid expressing your true feelings.
Maybe that is true.
I wonder how you ever managed to fall in love. You were always so careful and wise. Forgive me. I'm beginning to sound like Eleanor. Good heavens, she'll be wondering where I am. Thank you, Mr. Ashby. It's been most perfect evening.
Oh, the pleasure was entirely mine. Goodbye, Miss Hartley.
Mr. Ashby.
Ellen? I thought you were unwell.
Take one of the blankets off the bed.
What is it?
Founder's Port. 46 years old. Bottled the year I was born.
I suppose I could develop a taste for it.
Haskell?
Do you want your fire stoking, sir?
No, thank you. I'm feeling a little off colour. I think I shall go directly to bed.
It's going around, sir.
What?
Colic, high temperature, backache. You're not the only one. They say it's a sanitation, but I blame the bed makers. Dirty women, sir.
Yes, well, I think sleep is all I need.
Half of them work at the meat market before they come here.
Yes, thank you.
Dirty women.
This is absurd.
Have you any idea what would happen if someone found you here?
Disgrace, I suppose. Disgrace for all parties. Raised voices, wagging fingers, black looks.
And those with most to lose will lose most.
Like you.
Oh. I would lose my fellowship, my position as senior tutor, and any chance of becoming president of the college. I would gain some drafty parish church on the Welsh borders with a congregation of farmers' wives and demented old men.
Perhaps we should never have met. Why did you wake me?
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Your aunt will be distraught if she finds you're not in your room.
She'll have gone straight to bed.
She's very concerned about you. We talked of you all evening.
I wish you would tell me in plain English what you really feel, Mr. Ashby. You looked after me here. You put the blanket around me. You made me feel warm.
How else should one behave?
Have you forgotten Switzerland?
I must take you back to the hotel.
It must be nice to be part of a college. To have all these familiar things around you. All these books arranged by author from A to Z. Beautiful furniture always in the same place. Founder's Port. Old stones, old inscriptions. Your friends in rooms all around you. Mr. Haskell. Everything you want. Isn't it?
I may not be able to come to the station tomorrow to see you off.
You won't say anything to Aunt Caroline about tonight, will you, Mr. Ashby?
No, of course not.
Good evening. Mr. Ashby. Miss Eleanor.
What do you make of this, Mr. Haskell?
Lady's handkerchief?
Aren't you going to ask me where I found it?
No doubt, somewhere where you shouldn't have been.
In Mr. Ashby's bedroom.
I told you not to go in there, he's ill.
No, he's not. He's gone out.
First time in 27 years.
Most agitated. Most agitated. Only little tail on it, most agitated. Just burst in.
This was delivered by hand to the President this morning. It's damn lucky I was there to intercept it. Now, what on earth is happening, Ashby? This is blackmail. Seen at 2 o'clock in the morning in the high street in the company of a young lady? And who is this fellow Weeks?
I met him in Switzerland. He's a thoroughly malicious gossip, desperate to get his son into the college.
Well, is there a scrap of truth in it?
The Visigoths are at the gates of Rome.
I think it better if you leave the college for a few days. Just in case. Make yourself scarce somewhere. I did try to warn you.
Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, there is one thing, of course. You must give me a solemn undertaking never to see these American friends of yours again.
Of course. You have my word.
Guard the college with your life.
Of course it wasn't inconvenient. I was delighted to hear from you. It's not a palace, more of a watery grave. But it can be quite fun at this time of year.
Don't you make use of it?
I bought it in a moment of romantic intoxication. Well, what do you think?
Well, it's lovely, Mr. Simon. So hidden away.
I imagine myself here, labouring on a great work of scholarship. The low evening mist creeping in over the water, only the moorhens for company. But I soon found out that college doesn't take kindly to hermits. The college likes to know where its fellows are. If they start missing their suppers, they could be getting up to all sorts of mischief. Well, this is Hartslot Cottage.
It's enchanting. It's exactly what it ought to be.
It's perfect.
Well, if you should decide to stay in Oxford, it's yours for the summer.
We could invite Mr. Ashby here.
Dear Mr. Ashby, my dear Mr. Ashby, I write to tell you that we have decided to stay a while in Oxford. True sentiments are often the hardest to... I find myself thinking of your kindness towards us. Is it too much to hope that we could perhaps meet again?
My dear Eleanor. Dear Eleanor, I hope your journey home was safe and the Atlantic in one of her friendlier moods. I too have returned home for a moment's peace before the coming election. I find myself still thinking of our time together in Switzerland and wondering if I could ever be as happy again.
Help! Help! Help!
Mr. Syme, are you all right?
She went down with all hands, I'm afraid. I'm the sole survivor. But I did manage to salvage some wine. I'm sorry to intrude, but I promised Miss Hartley I'd drop in. I understand you have a fire without wood, and a three-legged table, and other problems that a laggardly landlord should have seen to.
Well, my aunt isn't here. She went out for the day. On private business, she said.
Ah. Miss Hartley, is anything the matter?
I had some business to do nearby. Papers to be sorted out. Mailed to America.
Eleanor is not with you?
No, she's at the cottage.
I thought you were gone.
Mr. Siam has lent us the most enchanting little house.
Oh, Miss Hartley, this is my father.
How do you do?
We met in Switzerland. We, climbed together.
Not exactly a vacation for young ladies. Do you know he nearly lost his life on one treacherous ridge?
Oh, yes, we tried to save him, but he slipped.
Thank you.
Where did you learn to sing?
County Tipperary.
Well then, let's drink. To you.
To me?
Yes. And your conquest of Europe.
I suppose I could develop a taste for this.
The river is full of hazards for the sailor, my dear, and you're just one of them. Not a mile upstream is Parson's Pleasure, where by long tradition, fellows may bathe naked.
Does Mr. Ashby?
No, Mr. Ashby does not bathe naked.
How do you know?
My dear, Mr. Ashby even sleeps in his college gown.
I should like to see one of these strange creatures.
Purely for scientific interest.
Of course.
The mallet is held with the thumbs downward, thus.
I fear I'm about to make a fool of myself.
That would be most unlike you.
I'm relieved that you don't remember our last night in Oxford as clearly as I do.
Oh, good shot.
I do remember. Any fault was entirely mine.
You've given me a chance to croquet you.
On the contrary, you were kind enough to pay me a compliment.
Look out! Much too hard.
Wait for me there.
Oh, that's all right. I can.
Be careful, Eleanor.
Oh, I've ruined my dress.
I must get you in front of the fire.
What fire? Our landlord keeps forgetting to bring us any wood.
Callous brute. Quickly.
Oh, I'm freezing. Oh, thank you. Oh, God.
Let's put it around you.
Thank you.
When they fall and close together, that's a rose.
Mr. Ashby, if I should settle here in England, I know it's not a woman's place to say such things, but would you consider it possible or even desirable that you and I might?
No. It's not that... It's just that I've given my word. I cannot go back on that.
Eleanor? Yes, Aunt Caroline? Oh, my dear. I'm so glad to see you.
Didn't you expect not to?
It was wrong of me to leave you alone all day.
I wasn't alone all day.
Oh?
No, Mr. Syme called.
Did he stay long?
Just a brief visit.
So, what did you do?
What do you mean, what did I do? Just make it sound like you're trying to make me confess something.
I was merely inquiring.
How was your day with Mr. Ashby? What did you do?
Well, how did you know I was with Mr. Ashby?
I found the letter. The one you didn't post. That
was a private letter.
It was lying on the desk.
Well, you had no business reading it. What could you have been thinking of?
So you were with him.
Did Mr. Syme say when the logs would be delivered?
No. I mean, yes. Soon. Did Mr. Ashby say when he was coming to see us?
No. I don't think he will come to see us.
We are gathered here today to mourn the passing of William Granger Rushton.
You've heard about Syme? Well, apparently, he has made his rather pretty country cottage available to your American friends.
Yes, I was aware of that.
Yes, but evidently it isn't a conventional landlord-tenant arrangement. Of course, we can't be too sure about these things, but rumor has it.
What? What does rumor have?
That Syme and the young lady.
I cannot believe a thing like that.
Yes, well, let's just hope it's true. For all our sakes.
Blessed with his foresight, let us give thanks for a life lived to the full. We shall not look upon his like again.
I think possibly that I am the only one still living who can remember coming up for the last college election.
This is Mr. Case.
K.V., an old Danish name, meant a Kaffir, I'm told. Are you the one who wants to change everything?
I'm glad of the opportunity to speak with you.
Ashby! Canon Harper from Bridport. Went down in 33. Great friend of the old president.
I was so sorry to miss the funeral.
What are you doing here?
I've come to cast my vote.
I must speak to you, Ashby. Delicate matter.
Was it well attended?
Would you excuse me a moment, please, Canon?
I want to repay a debt of thanks for the exemplary way you dealt with my son. He's much happier now. Entomologist at the museum.
This is not the place to hear your family history of weeks.
And by way of thanks, to pass on some information, which I think you should have as soon as possible.
We have nothing more to say to each other.
It does concern you directly. Miss Eleanor is expecting a child.
Do you ever get down to Dorset, Ashby?
What?
I said, do you ever get down to Dorset?
You must eat something, Eleanor.
I'm not hungry. Why do our friends treat us this way? Why does no one talk to us? Mr. Ashby hasn't been to see us in over a month.
Mr. Ashby is engaged in a contest. The election of a new college president is a very serious matter.
I don't understand the English. They seem able to place their friends and their lives into separate compartments.
I think it's time for us to go home.
Big day tomorrow, sir.
Yes.
Never been a president's scout before, sir.
Child, that's wonderful news, Ashby. Its sign revealed in his true colors. The college is ours. That man is ruined.
And Eleanor Hartley is conveniently forgotten?
Come on now, Ashby. Miss Hartley. What's a silly little American hussy compared to the college? This is our day, Ashby.
I never realized how much you wanted the college.
No more than you.
Yes. In the end, more than me.
Gentlemen.
And as for Miss Eleanor?
Charming girl.
She's to have a child.
They're ready for you now, gentlemen.
And we'll fix it all. Extraordinary thing.
From Mr. Ashby, sir.
Miss Hartley.
Mr. Ashby, I didn't expect to see you. It's most kind of you to spare the time.
I'm sorry, I've been busy.
I'd heard about the election. It must be upon you very soon. I understand you have a rival.
Yes, Mr. Syme.
Never one who struck me as an ideal candidate for the president.
Oh, he's popular with the younger fellows.
Youth is not always a sound judge of character.
Miss Hartley, are you leaving?
Eleanor's not well.
Miss Hartley?
Excuse me.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Mr. Ashby. Please go away, Mr. Ashby.
Dr. Weeks came to see me. Is it true?
There's nothing you can do. I'm afraid I've made a terrible mess of things. I didn't love him. I didn't even like him. But when I saw that Aunt Caroline went to see you, and I realized that you loved her, and not me.
No. That's not true.
Then why have you come? Do you know the first time I saw you?
Oh, yes. I remember exactly what you said. Did I disturb you, sir?
No, it was before that.
Never was a truer word spoken.
You look so cool and carefree. What were you singing?
Wait. The brown trunk can stay. The rest will go to the station.
Mr. Ashby in his rooms?
No, sir, he left. They left first thing this morning.
Did you say where?
Gone abroad. Best thing for it in the circumstances, I'd say.
I can tell you, the fellows of this college are not best pleased. A senior tutor, and he did it under their very noses. I still can't believe it. Crafty old bugger.
She was beautiful, Mr. Askell.
And in my rooms, too.
Oh.